Hi, this is Matthew Weiss from EO New York, and you're watching EOtv.
Hi, and welcome to EOtv. I'm Randall Mauricio.
And I'm Terry Apostle. On this week's show, we highlight you.
That's right, you, the entrepreneur, for taking what you know best and sharing it with fellow members around the clock.
And around the world to build better entrepreneurs. On November 18th, 2010, the wave of EO24 swept across the entrepreneurial world. Partnering with Kauffman Foundation's Global Entrepreneurship Week, EO members across the world hosted 24 hours worth of entrepreneurial events. And guess what? We captured all the footage on live stream.
Hi, I'm Dan. I've been a member for about a year now. Just a couple, really. I mean, the first one I think which has already been done, which is just sales. I remember when we first set out, I was chatting to someone at a networking event, and I was so proud of the fact that we had no salespeople, and the fact that all of our business came through referrals. I thought this was a fantastic thing. And I kind of look back now and I just absolutely cringe. So I think, well, what if we had have had salespeople? You know, how much further forward might we now be? There we go. The other one I would give is focus. It's so easy to, as an entrepreneur, to think, oh, there's a new business over here, oh, I could do this, and oh, there's a new business over here, I could do this. And there's a couple which I've done part-time, moonlighting. All of them have failed. You know, you've got to just pick one thing, focus all of your attention on that, and make that thing succeed. And then when you get up to the upper echelons, then perhaps you can then move into portfolio and have multiple companies. But until that point, pick one and focus all of your efforts on that.
The EO London chapter used their time together to share best practices with fellow chapter members as EO South Florida featured life lessons from an entrepreneurial mentor.
So there's the risk-taking factor. When an opportunity comes, take it, jump all over it, do the best you can. And don't look back, look forward, keep going, keep pounding. If you know what happened to me in the 47 years, I had to write a book to tell you. But I never gave up.
A continent over, members from EO Chennai played host to speaker Tim Sebastian. There he shared a very unique tip about our one true universal weapon.
You all do the same PowerPoint presentations. You're laughing because maybe that's actually what happens in some of your companies. But debates, whether internally or on TV or for educational purposes, they do something different. What we like to say is that debates are about unleashing the power of words, the power to change minds, the empowerment of young people to ask the difficult, searching questions that need to be asked about our societies and about those who hold positions of responsibility in our societies. The power that turns people from spectators to players in a free society. The power to think differently, to accept or at least listen to other points of view. Maybe that doesn't sound much to you in India, but in other parts of the world, even to say, I'm going to listen to a contrary view, is such an extraordinary, revolutionary thing in parts of the Middle East, where you have your received wisdom from your peers or your tribe or your family that tells you from birth which camp you're in, and by and large, you don't leave it. So when I go to schools in the Middle East and colleges, and people say to me, well, why should I come to your debates? I said, well, if you want a say, if you ever want your voice heard about how your society is run and who runs your society, if you ever have the slightest contribution that you want to make to the running of your society, remember that this is not a spectator sport. It requires that you turn up, you start to speak, you take part in the running of your society. Society gives you rights, but it also carries responsibilities. And your responsibility is to step up there and speak. So it's the power, I believe, to settle disputes by words. Words which we always say are the only acceptable weapons in a free society.
Sebastian goes on to mention all entrepreneurs are powerful because they have a voice and a worldwide audience through the internet. So that brings up our question of the month. What makes entrepreneurs powerful? If you know why, tweet it. Just make sure you dial #EO before you type in your answer. Of course, we'll share the response on the EO Overdrive blog, as well right here on EOtv in February. Also, you can catch the footage from EO24 by visiting eonetwork.tv video library and searching EO24.
You know, recently we took you on a behind-the-scenes tour of the 2010 EO Cape Town University, which was such an amazing event that we only cracked the surface in our wrap-up last week. So today, we're featuring another segment from Jennifer Carroll's webcast, Today with J&J.
Hello friends, it's Today with J&J, but it's actually J and P.
Phil,
and we're just lazing around, or at least our friend is.
look at the seal on the dock here.
So we're in South Africa. We've had a great time so
We are
far.
having
What have
a
we
great
done?
time. Oh.
We have gone to the Robben Island and see the prison cell where Nelson Mandela spent 19 years. Our trip to South Africa started off in prison. I guess you could say we started at the bottom. Robben Island, a place where they put opponents to apartheid to crush their spirit. Our tour guide was a prisoner, and he said he worked every day to keep his dignity and hope for a better and colorblind Africa. Freedom fighters like Nelson Mandela spent up to a quarter of a century of their lives imprisoned. Being there really got everybody pacing and thinking.
Problem is this, all the guys coming down from Kenya and Tanzania and the place Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
He says, they're the murderers, they're the robbers, it's awful. Okay? It's awful. And that's the gist of it.
Nelson Mandela said, I learned in prison that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it.
Yet another powerful video from that conference, wouldn't you say? To see the rest of this video or more of Jennifer Carroll's Cape Town adventures, check out Today with J&J on YouTube. And last, but certainly not least, we always love to showcase entrepreneurial events and the cool things that EO members take part in. So before we head out, take a look at this clip of EO New York and their event from the end of last year.
All right, EO New York in the world's greatest arena, Madison Square Garden, tonight. Be there. Welcome to the world's famous arena, Madison Square Garden, for the Entrepreneur Organization Final Four. We got EO New York, EO DC, and EO New Jersey all battling out for the trophy of entrepreneurship. The winner will get bragging rights for a year, and we're going to be playing on that court in just a few minutes. Pass quick up, EO New York. Joe Romano, EO New York. A.B. Gabor, EO New York. Brad Hubler, EO New York.
Congratulations to EODC, New York, and New Jersey on their awesome tournament. Don't think we didn't notice the nice footwork and that sweet kiss off the glass.
I missed, by the way, but you're absolutely right, Terry. It's impossible to win the game unless you venture to run. Impossible to win the victory unless you dare to battle. So in my opinion, we just saw a court full of
winners.
Thank you, Terry.
And thank you. We'll see you again in 2 weeks.